Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through your Zinger 270BH. Okay, I'm on the door side, moving towards the rear. You have power stabilizer jacks. One switch operates the rear, the other one operates the front. You don't lift the trailer with them, you just take the wiggle out. You stabilize it, okay? This is your low point drain. That is just the lowest point in the plumbing for when you're winterizing and dewinterizing. Okay. Excuse me. On this side you've got a black tank flush. This black tank flush is to clean out your black tank, obviously. After you dump it, you can leave the valve open on the dump valve, and you can actually hook the hose up from the dump station here and turn on the water, and it'll spray out the inside of the tank, clean it out, get your sensors nice and clean. You got a power awning with an LED strip. You got outside speakers. This is the vent for your range hood. You can pull that baffle open that's inside there, and if you're going to use the range hood, then you want to have that baffle open so it flaps freely, otherwise you keep it shut. Vent for your furnace. This is just antenna out here and power for a TV set. This is your fresh water tank fill. So you have got an onboard fresh water tank. The reason you would use this is if you happen to go to an older state park that doesn't have plumbing on the campsite but it has a fill station when you first get in the park, you can fill your tank, use the onboard pump, and pressurize your water just like you would if you had normal city water. The most common way to do it is with city water, which is on the other side of the trailer. I'll show you that in a minute. But this feature is for when you do not have plumbing on a campsite, okay? All right, this hole here, you can put a crank in there, and you can actually crank your slide out in manually if you had to, in case it fails, okay? That's to hook your dog leash up to. And let's see what else we got here. You got fold-in stairs. They're very stable. Okay, your other switch for your front. Wait a minute, there it is. Your front stabilizers. Okay. This is the crank I was telling you about. There's also another crank here. This one will go on your power tongue jack. There's a plug in the top of it, and if your tongue jack ever fails, you can just go ahead and put that in there and crank it manually to get yourself out of trouble. That's your dump hose that comes with the trailer, and that is a reducer to reduce your 30 amp down to a 15 amp service, your 30 amp plug, your power cord. Just keep in mind that you can plug everything at home into your 30 amp service, but you can't run the air conditioner because it'll eventually pop a circuit breaker. Okay, you've got a deep cycle marine battery, two 20-pound LTP tanks, power tongue jack. This regulator is an automatic changeover regulator. So this is just a gauge. You're going to point it at the tank. You want to check it. There's a little window here. You can see if the tank is full or empty. Okay. This is a plug for if you wanted to add a solar panel to charge your battery. You would plug it in right there. It's just an option. All right. Here we are going past the slide out. And these are your dump valves here. Okay, so I'll close them here to start this way. So the black valve is for your black water tank, which holds toilet water and waste. The gray is for the gray tank, which holds sink and shower water. Okay, so you'll put your hose on here. The other end goes into the dump station. You'll pull this, dump your black tank. Then secondly, you'll dump your gray tank just because it's cleaner water than the black water. And then you can go around to the other side where I showed you with the black tank flush, and you can actually flush out the black tank even cleaner. Okay, just make sure your valve is open on the black tank before you turn the water on. All right, this is your power cord, 25 feet long, 30 amp. Okay, this is where you hook your city water up. Remember I showed you on the other side you could fill your fresh water tank. If you got regular city water, which most places do, you just hook it up right here and turn on the water and you're ready to go. This is just a shower outside shower slash sprayer for kids and dogs and feet and whatever, anything you want to hose down. This is your water heater. It works on both gas and electric, I believe. We'll check when we get inside. It's drained empty right now. There's the plug for it. I mean the drain hole for it, and this is the plug. So you know, before you pull the plug when you're draining it, always use this and let the pressure out so you don't get soaked. Okay. Up here, that housing is it's pre-wired for a backup camera. If you get one, you need to use a Furrion camera that fits into that housing. We do sell them here. You can talk to our parts people. You turn on your running lights basically, and you'll be able to see behind you when you're backing up or when you're going down the road. Also, while we're looking up, you have to inspect the roof of your trailer. Not just this trailer, every trailer ever made. It's just part of owning it. So you want to go up there 3 times a year. You figure in the spring and in the fall, and then once in the middle of the summer. You're going to look around to make sure there's no separation starting, no cracks starting, and when you see it, some year you will. You could go years and years without seeing anything, but that's why you inspect it. At some point you will, and you got to get that taken care of promptly, okay? Very, very important. All right, so here we are inside. Your slide out switch is here. I'll just show you the slide moving here, like so. This is back out. When it ratchets, like when it gets like that, when it gets all the way out, that's when you know to take your finger off the button. Okay, you got a power awning right here out, and you roll it on out. You'll go till you can see the awning tube. When the fabric is unrolled, you'll see the metal awning tube. That's when you know when to stop. Okay, I'll bring it back in here. You also have an awning, a LED strip there, if you can see it. All right, yeah, so your water heater is both gas and electric, so always make sure, so first of all, you always make sure there's water in the heater before you turn it on. To light it on electric, you go that way, which is what you'll normally use. You can also use propane, which is that switch there. Your onboard water pump you will use for winterizing the trailer and for pumping fresh water out of your tank is right here. Okay, these are your levels here. See, the battery is fully charged. Fresh water tank is empty. It graduates up in 1/3 increments as it fills. Black tank is empty. First gray tank is empty. Sometimes there's a second one. I believe you just have one, but I'll double check. And that's an auxiliary just in case. So this is a standard panel. So you don't always have as many tanks as are listed on this panel. Okay. All right. So you have a sound bar. Just a basic sound bar. It's got Bluetooth. You can stream off a USB, that sort of thing. It's got 2 zones, inside and outside. There's a backer here for a TV bracket. Let me back up so you can see. If you buy a TV bracket, try and get the one that locks into place, so you won't have to strap the TV to hold it in place when you're traveling. It looks a lot nicer the other way. This is your LP and carbon monoxide detector. Right? You always want to make sure that's green, and if it's not, you can see it's green there. If it's not, you want to get it serviced, okay? If it goes off, then you're going to go outside, shut off your gas, and figure out what's going on. This device here is your power converter. It converts AC down to DC power, or over to DC power. So AC power comes in here. Everything that can run on DC power in a trailer does. Some things have to be 110 AC, like the microwave and the air conditioner, things like that. So you've got regular household circuit breakers here. They're all labeled. Then the power is converted down to 12 volt DC here. You've got automotive fuses here, style fuses. They're 12 volt DC and they're all labeled. If any of these were to blow, you'll actually see them through this colored or tinted plastic, so they would actually light up. This is also a battery tender. It'll sense how much energy your battery has, and if it needs if it's totally charged, it'll just trickle a couple amps to it. If it's down, it'll send 10 or whatever it needs. So it'll keep your battery charged as long as you're plugged in. Okay? All right. This is your range hood, fan, and light. I showed you the vent outside. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Your stove, which runs on gas. Let's see if we got the gas turned on here. Yep, I believe I hear it. Yep, there we go. So, Basically, let me get a good angle here. You're just going to turn this to high to light it. Then you're going to turn this clockwise and it lights. And you do that for all the burners, obviously. For the oven itself, first I have to look and see what model we have here. Hold on. Okay, so this one sparks also. Back here, there's a pilot light in the back. So this is what you do. You go to pilot, you depress it and hold it. Then you will spark your sparker till the pilot light lights under there. When it lights, you hold this in for another, continue to hold it for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up. Then you'll go to whatever temperature you want. The oven will cycle on and off just like a normal oven. When you go to off, the flame will go off, but the pilot light goes off too. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use it, okay? You've got a light here also for this, all right? So, always travel with your cover down. Excuse my camera work here, or phone work, whichever you want to call it. Okay? All right. The refrigerator is Norcold. It's an automatic refrigerator. It runs on 12 volts, so it's very self-explanatory. Remember, every appliance in here has its own manual in your packet. Plus, you can always go to the websites, the manufacturer's website. You just get the model number. In this case, it's right here for the refrigerator, an N10DCSSR, and you can get the manuals. You can get service manuals, all kinds of information. Okay, you got a big pantry, very large pantry. I'll shut the light off here. Okay, this is your thermostat. So all the way over is heat. The heat is propane. Heat source is propane, of course. Off is there. The fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor. It just circulates air. And then cool is the air conditioner running with the compressor. Okay. Now, I did shut the furnace off, but you could probably hear it still running. The flame goes out immediately when you shut it off, but it'll continue to cycle until it purges itself. All right. All right. So in your bathroom, regular shower works like any other shower. Your sink works like any other sink. Now, you've got a vent with a fan. You want to run the fan when you're running the shower to pull the humidity out. Okay. The toilet flushes with this pedal. Right now there's no water hooked up. If the water was hooked up, water would be swirling out right now. The black tank we spoke about is directly below here. So when you first get to the campground, you plug in, you hook up your water. Then you'll come in here and you'll take your chemical, whatever you're using, a liquid, a pre-measured packet, a scoop, whatever brand or type you use. You'll put 1 dose in there. Then you'll stand on this and put about a gallon of water in the tank. The bottom line is you can't use it without chemical and a little bit of water in it to start off. So you always want to start by doing that. After you flush it, it'll only fill about up to here, right? So there's a point here, if you see, I can push the pedal down and the trap in the toilet doesn't open. That will allow the water to come into the toilet and fill it. So before you use it, you can fill it up to here with water, or however how high you want to fill it. You just have to do that each time before you use it. It only defaults to that low mark when you flush it because you don't want it to slosh out when you're traveling, obviously. All right. Okay. Now, this trailer has to be winterized. You can't get antifreeze into the water heater. So you have to have it winterized, or you may be experienced, I don't know, but you got to have those valves in bypass mode so you don't get antifreeze into the water heater because it'll leave a really foul taste and smell. So that's something you have to, if you don't know, you have to educate yourself about a bit. All right, this table folds down and sits down on these cleats here, and then you fill in the space with the cushions and you can make another bed. This jackknife's flat by going like this. So you have another bed there, okay? All right. There's some storage underneath the bed. And this is your escape window. So it works like that. If you need to escape, you push it all the way through. You'll grab a hold of this tab here, pull the screen out, and you can roll out the window and hopefully land on your feet. You'll be in good shape. Okay? So that basically covers it. I'm looking to make sure I didn't forget anything here. I don't believe I did. I think we got it all. Now you're going to have more questions, so you can always call us and talk to us, and we'll help you out. Like I said, every appliance has its own manual, including the trailer has its own manual. You can also look at videos online, educate yourself that way. This virus is, we have to do this because of the virus, so this is just the way we have to do it. We'll help you out in any way we can, okay? So thanks for purchasing at National RV Detroit, and thank you very much.